chill touch of the grave upon your soul.
We've begun. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Creepypasta readings. I'm right here again in my Reaper mask as usual. And tonight, we're going to read a story for you called Fear is an Open Door. Are you ready? Let's go. October 12th, 2014, Somerville Psychiatric Hospital for Extended Stay Patients. Interview of Elizabeth Hope Porter, age 17, admitted September 27, 2013 by force, via parental signature and doctor's recommendation. Currently undergoing treatment for acute delusional disorder and schizophrenia. Dictated by Porter, recorded and transcribed for records and training purposes.
Hello, can you hear me? The doctor told me to talk into this little tape recorder. Sorry if it's a little hard to hear me. I can't move very far in my jacket, and my feet and chair are strapped to the floor. I'm kind of stretching to reach the microphone. Well, the doctors behind the window are giving me a thumbs up, so I guess that means everything's fine. High quality mic. I should probably start now, right? Yep, they're nodding.
The doctor told me to discuss about what we discussed when I first came in here. I had been ranting on about how I wasn't afraid anymore. That the thing that I feared was finally gone, and he asked me what I was afraid of. Or what I had been afraid of. Now that is a loaded question, isn't it? I mean, humans fear a lot of things, yeah, don't we? We're scared of bugs, the ocean, a paper cut. Normal things, silly things. Things we see on a daily basis and yet tremble at the sight of for one reason or another. I can really relate to that, you know. I mean, bugs, they're ugly. But there's nothing to be afraid of in something you can remove from existence just by smashing it, no. Especially not when it's with your dad's size 12 shoe, no. The ocean is full of dangers like sharks and drowning, but why fear it when the answer is perfectly simple? Learn to swim or don't get in the water. As for paper cuts, they only hurt for a second, and then they are forgotten. No more lethal than stubbing your toe or bumping your elbow. What's so scary about seeing the fluid that makes you alive bubbling up on the outside? It astounds me, really. No, really, the things that people, you know, they're scared of, no. I understand being cautious of things that will kill you, but stuff like this, no. Jeez, get your priorities straight, humans.
That said, there's one fear that I can't understand. One that I suppose you can call irrational, even if it isn't to me. You know how in movies, characters walking down a dock hall through some abandoned building at night, and suddenly, a door to the right starts to rattle, or they hear breathing, or scratching, or downright screams coming from behind it. You know how they move towards it so slowly, dreading every step closer, wanting to open it, but so incredibly scared to do so? I always hated that. I'd watch a scene like that and think, that's not scary. Why the hell is she so scared of a closed door?
Yeah, you know, most people, I'm sure, they'd say something like, because there's something terrible on the other side, you know, because when she opens it, you know, she might see something awful or get a face full of a straight up monster, murderer, death. That's, now, that is to say, I don't disagree. Anything could be hiding behind a closed door, anything at all. A vile monster, a portal to another world, your parents having 5 minutes worth of quick while the kids are outside sex. No. There's no telling what's behind a piece of 2-inch thick hardwood in the average house, haunted or otherwise. No.
But that's the kicker. Behind a door, a closed door, there's a barrier between you and the potential danger. If there's something on the other side, something sinister and unsightly, it can't get to you unless the door is opened. That's why scenes like the ones in bad horror movies always piss me off so much. If you don't like the look of that suspicious door in front of you, or you don't appreciate the unhealthy sounds coming from behind it, then why don't you just turn around and walk away from the door? You don't have to open it and face a fate worse than death. You can just can just leave it be, ignore it, or maybe even lock it for good measure. Doors have locks for a reason. But better still, how about you barricade it further? Put up some planks of wood, drag a dresser in front of it. Even your own 2 hands would work if you're strong enough. But see, to me, a closed door is the most comforting sight in the whole wide world. Now, an open door, that's another story.
The doctors, they just gave each other this look. And I can tell this is what they wanted me to talk about this whole time, Sorry. I tend to get ranty about this stuff. My brain has set paths it likes to go on, and you just gotta follow them. That's not my fault. Now, where was I? Right. The open doors. Open doors. I used to hate open doors. Hate them with the capital H-A-T-E. There's just something so unsettling about them. A passageway left ajar by a careless hand, allowing access to everything and anything that lay on the other side, It's worse when the lights are off in the room and I can't see what's inside. Oh, but it can see me, It can see me, yeah. Even if I'm all the way down the hall or even around a corner, I know it's there, wanting to cross the threshold, but unable to. Completely aware of my presence on the other side, at least when the door's closed, it can't see me, no. It's trapped behind a barrier. It can't physically move on its own, silenced and banished to whatever realm it lives in when it's not trying to break into my world. But behind the door, it can't whisper to me. It can't tempt me to close its only entrance. It can't snatch me up and drag me through into some dark, horrid place. It can only get me if someone leaves the door open. Like an invitation, you might say. Now, I bet I know what you're thinking. What am I talking about, right? What am I talking about? Well, what's it? Well, I don't really know. I've never been 100% on exactly, I'm not clear on what the doorway is.
I just know that open doors have always frightened me, since I was in diapers even. A doorway wasn't safe unless I was the one who opened the door. Only I could do it. Just fast enough to trick the thing inside from seizing the opportunity to catch me between rooms. My record is less than 2 seconds to open, get in, and close. Though I think 5 is probably the longest I have to get the door closed again. I learned over the years exactly how to trick it.
Yeah, see, no one else. They care about this problem. Doors were left open wherever I went, at school, at the mall, at home, everywhere. Gaping maws filled with something that only I could see, I got mad at people who didn't close doors behind them, mad enough to throw tantrums and cause some pretty bad scenes out in public. Cried when my parents tucked me in and forgot to close my bedroom door at night. I was unable to sleep until they did. I even refused to go into the bathroom in my own home if someone left the door open after using it. I'll admit, it wasn't easy living like this.
I lost friends faster than I made them. I missed days at school. I passed up many opportunities because something, or rather lack thereof, stood in my way. I went to a lot of therapists as a child. Both. They always asked me why I did this, always. Why I couldn't be around open doors. To this day, I still can't give them a better answer than just because I couldn't. I knew from the bottom of my heart that something lay in wait inside every single door I saw. Something evil and hungry and waiting for me to finally slip up and fall to its clutches.
Yeah. But here at the hospital, they made me take these little orange pills to calm down, but before I came here, I never accepted medication. Despite the advice from the therapist, no. I'm okay with it now. But back then, I was sure that taking anything at all would give the thing in the doorway an advantage over me. You can't trick a monster when you're addle-brained, So instead, my family had to reconstruct their lives to fit around what they call my condition. Doors were always closed at home, and every knob had a lock on it, inside and out, even the closets. I even had a nanny for a while, who came to school with me to make sure I wasn't bothered by carelessly open lockers or unroom doors, no. Everything went smoothly. For a good 16 years, it wasn't perfect. I had many panic attacks and public outbursts. I suffered some pretty bad bouts of depression because there were times when I didn't feel safe, but I wasn't thinking of that thing every time a hinge creaked or lock clicked, you know. No, wait, I was thinking of it. That's why they happened. But I learned to live with it, you know. I had my routines, my rituals, my coping mechanisms. I had my family's cooperation and support, and I had a key for every door in the house. Then the bad night came.
After 16 tense but stable years. That got their attention. All the doctors, every single one, they're all looking at me now. All the bright, glittering eyes. I think they're all interns or something, though. People who haven't heard the story yet. The reason everyone thinks I belong here. The only one who's not Googling me is my personal doctor. He's the only one who knows the whole thing already. Well, guess I should get around to telling it, right? Maybe they'll understand better than the doctor did. Maybe they'll actually be on my side. Oh, I just realized. I haven't mentioned Tyler yet, have I? Well, Tyler's my little brother. How do I put this? He got a kick out of my condition. He just loved to tease me about it. He purposely left doors open around the house, jiggled locks late at night, made me chase him to doorways, where I would freeze and glare at him while he made these stupid faces and dared me to cross the threshold. God, I despised him for it. Despised him. Never understood how much panic, terror he caused me every time a door flew open, followed by this dorky little laugh. It was a miracle I didn't have gray hair by the time I was a teenager.
Yeah, you know, he was getting better though, you know, better, yeah. When I was 13, I'd smash his face into a door frame as he was trying to pull me through it into the other room. The doctor said I'd broken his nose and part of his left eye socket. After that, no, he didn't tease me as much, yeah. I guess pain was the only way to get through to little brats like him, that, you know, teaching them and tormenting me was a no-no. That said, I couldn't do it all the time. My parents freaked after that first incident, and every time I tried to do it again, you know, they threatened me with trips to the psych ward. That calmed me a little, you know. After all, psych ward meant pills. Pills meant addle brain. Addle brain meant thing in the doorway. Gets claws on me.
So, last year on a warm night in September, my parents were going out to a party, and of course, they asked me to babysit Tyler. This wasn't unusual, though. I was doing much better in terms of handling my condition, so they trusted me with watching my brother for short periods of time. I left around 5, promised to be home after 1 in the morning, made some mac and cheese for dinner, and at the table, I warned Tyler not to cause any trouble for the rest of the night. I even promised to let him stay up until midnight if he behaved. He obliged with a mouthful of gooey cheese, but I saw it. I saw that little gleam in his eye, that impish gleam of mischief yet to come. Once a brat, always a brat.
Yeah, but the night wore on, you know, everything seemed okay. We kept our distance from each other. I was watching TV in the living room on one side of the house, and Tyler was playing in his room, door shut, you know, on the other. By 11 o'clock, I was contentedly munching on popcorn, getting lost in a marathon of NCIS. I love those. My mind was farthest from the doorways than it has ever been, you know. Wasn't thinking about him. I even forgot Tyler was in the house until during a commercial. I heard his bedroom door open.
Immediately, I hit mute on the remote button and listened. See, I knew the sound of every single door in that house. Each creak and squeak was unique to my ears. I counted how many times the hinges peeled open and grown closed on my brother's particularly squeaky bedroom door. Open, close, followed by footsteps, then open, close again. That was the bathroom door. I could tell by the wooden sound it made when he shut it. Now I just had to wait for him to finish his business and go back to his room. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to sit still until I knew all the door sounds were cycled through. Tyler knew this. He also knew that he wouldn't hear the end of it if I heard an off number of door clicks. I watched the muted screen and listened very carefully. Toilet flush, bathroom door smooth open, close, footsteps down the hall, bedroom door squeak open, and...
I listened, you know. Kept listening. Good ears, but there was no second squeak. That signified he'd closed the door. The house remained perfectly, painfully silent. My heart was starting to pound in my chest, going, you know, ga-gung, 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 liquid in my ears. I pressed back into the couch and just waited a moment longer. He was just messing with me. I thought. He's just making me paranoid. Hell, he's probably about to burst out laughing any second, and now slammed the door shut, and I waited. But there was nothing. Just silence, you know, silence. And now the panic starts kicking in. A door was open in the house. Even though it was on the other side of the house, I could practically feel it like a scab on the bottom of my foot. The thing was there now. It was in that open space between my brother's room and the hallway, gathering itself up, becoming solid, searching for me, waiting for me. I didn't want to move, but I couldn't sit still. My body was sweaty and trembling, my legs tapping restlessly, my fingers digging into sofa cushions. I was shaking so hard that I could have bitten my tongue in two.
Tyler, close the damn door! I screamed, my voice high and terrified. It echoed back at me and made me flinch. Again, I expected laughter. I wanted the laughter. But the house was so quiet that not even the supports creaked. God, why was he being so quiet? But I thought of something. What if the thing had Tyler? I didn't think it was possible. It never bothered my parents or his little brother before. Hence how they could walk past an open door with no problem. It only ever wanted me. But what if it changed its mind? What if it had gotten tired of waiting for me to come to it and decided to go for the easier prey?
Or maybe, you know, it was holding Tyler captive, using him as bait to lure me out. I could imagine him trapped in that dark, rotten place inside the doorway, held in a pair of large, monstrous claws. Perhaps he was so quiet because he couldn't cry out for me to save him. Perhaps he knew that thing would use his cries to draw me to it and catch me as well. Well, I clasped the sides of my head, rocking back and forth on the couch, starting to whine. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't just let it take Tyler, even if I hated him. My parents would get so mad at me for letting him die. They'd yell at me and make me take medication, let the thing get me when I couldn't control myself. I couldn't let that happen. Couldn't. What should I do? You know, what should I do? What should I do? Then in the silence, I heard a small, cheeky snicker.
I froze, my hands leaving my head and curling into fists. It was laughing at me now. Laughing at all the pain it caused me, all the torment it had brought. How dare it? How dare it? I wouldn't stand for it. 16 years I'd submitted. 16 goddamn years. I let it dictate how I lived my life. Well, I was sick of living in fear all that time. I was sick of shaking at the sight of doors, sick of peeing my pants when a bathroom was right in front of me, sick of crying myself to sleep at night because I couldn't stop dreaming about the thing in the doorway. No more. I'd show it. Show it once and for all. So I took the deepest breath I could, stood up from the couch, started walking towards the bedroom hallway. As I passed through the kitchen, I pulled a boning knife from the block on the counter. It felt a lot better than going in alone.
There were four doors in the hallway. My parents' room, the bathroom, my room, and my brother's room. His was the only open door. Even from the end of the hallway, I could see the darkness in the hallway, in the doorway. You know, it was just that the lights in the room were off. The darkness was thick, coalesced. It moved like a black curtain, hiding something sinister in its folds. It was in there. It was waiting for me. I could hear my heartbeat. I knew it could. It was so damn loud and fast, like a machine gun. I bet it wanted to rip it out in front of my face and swallow it whole. I wanted to run back to the living room and crawl under the couch until my parents got home. But I knew I couldn't. The thing was gonna kill Tyler if I ignored it. And I'd have to go to the psych ward. Then it would kill me. So I squeezed the knife and walked slowly towards the doorway, telling myself that I wasn't afraid, you know.
Tyler, I said, my voice bouncing all over the walls. No response, but I did hear that laugh again. That tiny, impish snicker. You know what? It sounded an awful lot like my brother's laugh. The monster. How dare try to imitate my brother. He was just trying to trick me. He was trying to make me think that this really was just a little game he was playing. Trying to get me to let my guard down. But I knew better. I was about to fall for its game. I was done playing. I was going to make it pay.
I stepped toward the doorway, you know, standing a good 5 feet away at first, and I saw nothing inside. Nothing inside. Not even the outlines of my brother's bed or dresser. Just a rectangle of solid black. You know, I held the knife flat. I held it flat against, what was it? I held it flat against my thigh. Yes, my thigh. Inching my way closer and closer. The snickering was a little louder now. Trying to be quiet, still imitating my brother. I was so angry with my teeth ground together, you know. Then I saw a flicker of movement in the darkness. I gasped, and the snicker stopped. It was waiting. You know, it was ready to strike, and so was I. Taking one long step, I placed myself directly in front of the doorway.
I'd never been this close to it before. Close enough to almost touch the impenetrable blackness within. And then I finally saw it. The thing. The nightmare that had haunted me all my life. It revealed itself to me at last. It pushed through the darkness with outstretched arms, fingers clawed and reaching, eyes gleaming a dull red, mouth grinning in a crooked, gap-toothed way. It even made a sound still imitating Tyler with a high, mocking boo. I'm sure it thought it finally had me, though. That it was going to grab me and drag me down into whatever hell it had crawled up from. But I was ready for it. Without even the slightest bit of hesitation, I drove that knife down into the darkness.
Oh God, the relief. You shrinks, you're not gonna understand how wonderful it felt to plunge that knife into its throat. You know, blood burst over my hand like a warm bubble. I didn't even care. I listened to that thing gurgle, felt its hands reaching up and grabbing the knife, and my own hand locked tight around the handle, and I didn't stop there. I yanked the knife back and forth, sawing into the skin and sending more blood splattering across the floor and in front of my shirt. It wasn't long before that thing dropped to its knees and I followed it down, pushing it to the floor. Ripping the knife from its throat, I flapped its lips like it was trying to speak, but only gurgled. Whistles of air leaked out of its mutilated windpipe. I was so happy to see it bleed. You know, to know that I was finally hurting it instead of it hurting me. Exhilarated, I lifted the knife and jabbed it into its mouth, bringing it down again and again until its face resembled nothing more than a shapeless red mass on the carpet. When I don't remember.
When I guess when it had stopped moving, I left the knife lodged in what was once its right eye. It sat back against the wall, pinning harder than I ever had in my life. Everything was hazy and tinted red. I rubbed my eyes until I could see clearly again, and you know what I saw? The doorway. I was sitting in his bedroom, and I could see the hallway beyond the doorway. There was no darkness, no sense of menace, nothing. Hardly able to believe it, I reached out with a blood-stained hand. I was so elated to see it pass through without trouble. Nothing grabbed it. Nothing pulled me in. There was nothing in the doorway. let out the biggest sigh of relief. I did it. I killed it. I killed the thing that had haunted me for years. I could go through open doors now and not worry about what was on the other side. I was finally free.
But wait, I bet that all of you over there, you're staring at me, you're asking, what happened to Tyler? Well, see, I couldn't find him after I killed the thing in the doorway. I checked under his bed, inside the toy box, even inside his closet, but he was nowhere to be found. I called out to him, thinking he'd somehow left the room while I was fighting the monster, but no luck there either. I realized a little later he must still be trapped in the space inside the door frame. The dark world that thing had come from, without someone to open the door between its world and mine. The portal was sealed shut, meaning Tyler was still in there, locked away from his home and his family forever. The monster didn't need him before I got to it, that is. It frustrated me when no one believed the story. When my parents got home later that night, I eagerly began to tell them how I'd conquered my fears at last, but they wouldn't stop screaming about the blood in the house. My mother even cradled the corpse of the thing in her arms and begged me to tell her why I'd killed my baby brother. In hindsight, I understand their confusion. Even in death, the thing was still masquerading as Tyler. From his clothes to his hair, right down to the little V-shaped freckle on the back of his left hand. They were convinced that it was really Tyler, so were the police and doctors as well, but I knew they were wrong. That bloody mess was a monster, my own personal demon, my mountain finally climbed and conquered. I did not kill my little brother. I'm innocent. I didn't kill my little brother. No, that was the monster.
Still, my parents were furious that I'd lost Tyler. They treated me like I had a disease all my life and had not known about it until now. At the behest of the doctors, of course, they had put me here in this dreaded psych ward, where I'm monitored, fed little orange pills in a cup, and kept in a soft room so I don't hurt myself or anyone else. Well, I will say, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Kinda like it here. All bright and clean, and so many closed doors. It's comforting to see them locked tight with key cards and surrounded by big bodyguards. Of course, not that I'm worried about stuff like that anymore. Open doors don't scare me now. There's nothing in them. Well, nothing except Tyler, of course. But he only just seems to be there. Hazy, not quite there outline in the back of my eyes. Sometimes if I forget to take my pills, he stands right by my bed at night, leaning over me, his face all red and pulpy and dripping onto my pajamas. I don't know if he's dead or not, but even if he is, it's not like his ghost could come back here. He can't ever really come back anyways, though. Not where he is. Good riddance if you ask me. He was so annoying, and I think my parents are better off without him. I know I am. If the thing hadn't taken him away, though, I'd still be trapped in my own hellish hallway of gaping doorways. Guess I should be thanking him for removing my greatest fear, to help me too.
Yeah, I guess he was good for something after all. Yeah. Good for something. Now see, this is the part where the doctors, they don't agree with me. No, they're all giving me this look like I've just done something terrible to their pets, and that's too bad. I really hope somebody else will hear me out, but maybe I shouldn't blame them. It's hard for someone to see a monster that only scares you. It's harder still when they've all been tricked that the monster is you instead. But I'm no monster. I killed my monster. Will you? And ladies and gentlemen, damn, hope you loved our performance as well. That was Fears and Open Door. Holy shit fest fuck, wow. This story was actually sourced by Jules, so, wow, amazingly done. And to the author, of course, wow.
Credit all the way down at the bottom of the story.
All the way. In fact, let me scroll down. There. Credit to Mercury-Coated Veins. Just, wow. It's no words. That was, I think, the best creepypasta I've ever read so far. Okay, so of course, don't forget that if you like our readings, like, share, subscribe, and of course, do support us on Patreon if you can. Helps us make better releases, early releases, and all that kind of stuff. Helps me pay her, and a couple of other things. So thank you guys so much for enjoying our story. We'll come back with another one for you.